Hi, friends. This is your friendly neighborhood spiritual counselor and cosmic heart, Linda. As always, we will start our cosmic heart session with a prayer. So placing hands on heart, taking a nice deep breath, closing our eyes if that is safe and comfortable for you to do. So grateful and thankful for this time to come together as the two or more who are gathered in the name and the nature of love. Grateful and thankful to let go of anything and everything that came before this moment and to set aside anything that is to come after this session, knowing that we will easily and effortlessly be able to pick it up if it is ours to do afterwards. We are grateful and thankful for our willingness to know the truth of our being, which is perfect love, perfect wholeness, perfect innocence. Grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers. We ask that they join us now, surrounding and supporting us, blessing us, all who are here now, all who will listen later. We ask them to guide and inspire us as we sit for just a moment in silence to set our intentions for this session today. With our intentions lightly set and our open hearts and open minds, we are so grateful to be great receivers of the all good. We are claiming it now, and we are grateful to share the benefits of this session and the benefits of our very being with Mother Earth and all her beings, because we are one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. So it has been a week since I have recorded a video, and for those of you who don't know me that well, I just want to share that I took last week off because my husband passed away. We'd been together for 43 years and we'd been married for 40. So I just wanted to allow time and space to unfold organically in that time. And I'm feeling inspired to come back to this and to see what we will be uncovering. And I'm trusting that you were brought here to this video today because there's something in it for you to hear that will be helpful, even if it feels challenging to hear. Just know that it is coming from a place of love. And so with the topic being around or inspired by the loss of my husband's physical being, what I was inspired to talk about is the ideas and the thoughts that have come into my mind about blaming myself or blaming him for things that unfolded. And the idea of blaming the self or blaming others versus the ability to look in the mirror and say without judgment, maybe there's room for growth. And then to really consciously quiet the mind in order to find spaciousness and emptiness. And I know in this Western world that I live in here in the United States, that many people will run from this, but Buddhists embrace this as the emptiness that is free of narrative, free of attachments, and full of peace and tranquility. So with my husband's passing, he has been sick off and on for over a decade. I would say close to 15 years. Yeah, 15 years, even more than 15 years, to be honest. And he initially, close to 20 years, I believe, was diagnosed with diabetes. And he was very angry when he found out that he had diabetes because even though both of his parents and his brother also had diabetes, he believed that he would not um, have to go through that because he was not a big alcohol drinker, and they were. So I think like he felt like he was being punished when he received that diagnosis. And what ended up happening, just adjust this light a little bit, there we go, was when he went through his midlife crisis, as many of us do during our middle age years, he decided he was not going to be diabetic anymore. And so he stopped taking his medications and watching what he was eating, unbeknownst to me. What happened then is that he became sicker and sicker, and I could see that he was struggling physically, low energy, and you know, you like, it could tell like his coloring and like all the things. So I would kind of nag him that something's going on, you need to see the doctor. And in his procrastinative, that's even a word, personality and a little bit of passive aggressive behavior, he would just get angry with me and then he wouldn't do anything about it. So this went on for several months. And I was honestly considering very seriously leaving him. And at the time, I already had all of the logistics set up in my mind. But what ended up happening is a friend of ours was leading a Catholic women's retreat weekend. And so I signed up for that with the idea of coming to a decision one way or another if I should stay or go. And the retreat was based on women of the Bible. And though I'm not a practicing Catholic, I went because I trusted this friend of ours that was running the retreat, and bunch of names of women in the Bible were placed in a hat, and everyone got to choose a piece of paper with a woman's name on it. My paper was Mary and Martha. And for those of you who don't know the story of Mary and Martha, they were sisters. And when Jesus came to visit, Mary stayed at Jesus's feet and hung on every word he said. And Martha was busy like preparing food and like serving the other people who came with Jesus. And I could relate to both of those women because I'm imagining that Mary was intuiting the wisdom that Jesus was sharing, and Martha, because she was so wrapped up in the world and the physical caretaking of everybody that was there in her home, wasn't even seeing that or hearing that. And I can imagine if she was me, which honestly she was, or I was her, I should say, back in the day, um, feeling very angry that nobody was helping and feeling resentment towards those who were not helping. So, long story short, or long story long, I came away from that weekend with a clear directive that no, I was not going to leave. I was going to stay and support my husband. But I did come back from that retreat and I shared with him my mission for that retreat. And he was very angry about it. But he did make a doctor's appointment, which I was so grateful for. And he was hospitalized immediately. He told me that his blood sugar was in the 300s, but I ran into the doctor coming off of the elevator on the way to his room, and the doctor told me his blood sugar was in the 600s. Needless to say, this had done quite a bit of damage to his other organs. And within the next 2 years, he ended up having to have a quadruple bypass and being put on dialysis, which he was on dialysis for 6 years. At the time, he was still working, so he was doing the overnight dialysis, which is a slower flow rate, if you know anything about dialysis. And he did that for 6 years, working full time, obviously taking time off when he needed it for doctor's appointments or whatever, but he worked full time that whole 6 years before he got that kidney transplant. And unfortunately, circumstances made it so that he had that kidney transplant in 2018. In 2023, he had a virus that most normal, regular people have, but because he was a transplant recipient, he was on anti-rejection medication, which lowers your immune system, and his body was not able to fight that off. And then in July of 2024, we both got COVID, which he had said years before that he would not survive. So, all that to say is that his passing, there are definitely things that I feel I could have done differently. There are definitely things that I feel he could have done differently. And in the end, none of that matters. I even suspected that if the flow rate for the dialysis that he was having this time around, which he started in November of 2024, would have been lower, that it would not have damaged his other organs as quickly or as severely as it did. And the interesting thing is that I watch a news magazine show on Sundays called CBS Sunday Mornings, and they did a story on dialysis and how it has become big business, and their focus, instead of being on the patient and making sure that people are well taken care of according to their individual needs, it's about getting as many people in as quickly as possible with as little cost to the dialysis center so that their shareholders can make more money, big business. So while I heard that story and I suspected it to be true, my intuition said, even if that's true, there is no one or no thing that can keep a person or stop a person from expiring before their time or after their time. And while I may be able to do some sort of, looking into suing DaVita, do I really want to focus my energy and my time on that? No. In the long run, Rudy passed exactly when he was supposed to. And I'm grateful that he no longer has to go through all of the medical pokings and proddings and appointments and all of the things that he was doing in order to try and get back on the kidney transplant list again. I know that was tiring him. I know the fighting to have his medications paid for at a rate that we could afford were also tiring him. Just the whole situation was exhausting for him. And I miss him. I really miss him more than I can say. But I'm grateful that he's free of that body that was failing him and that he can move on to do other things that he loved, like painting. He was an amazing painter. He created that purple iris up there and many other paintings in my home. And I hope he's listening to as much 80s music as he can take in, because that was his favorite genre. And I'm just not willing to spend any more time and energy on the illness and the negative parts about our relationship. The rest of our relationship was wonderful. We raised a beautiful, amazing, intelligent, compassionate son, and we have a lovely home, and we were happy, still happy. And I know he's around. He lets me know that. So, and I know that the tranquility and the peace that I am feeling now would not be possible if he would not have gotten sick and I would not have started being very serious about my spiritual expansion and learning and teaching. and practices, especially practices. So what I'm saying is dedicate yourself to your practices that ground you, that keep you in your loving heart, that allow you to surrender thoughts of attack or trying to get even. It's not helpful. It's not a good energy to live in. It's not healthy for you. You know, that whole thing about drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die. That's exactly what it is. So be good to yourself first and foremost, and be good to others. And know that everybody, especially the prickly ones, the greedy ones, the tyrants, the people in this world that just seem like there's no redeemable quality of them, they are the ones that need our love the most. And I know that with every fiber of my being. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did and you would like to go deeper, you can work with me one-on-one. Leave a comment below. Counseling sessions are 45 to 60 minutes long, cost $100. I can share more details when you reach out in the comments for your appointment. Please share this video with family and friends who you feel it may support. I would love to hear your feedback or suggestions for future topics. Also, be sure to do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you will know when new videos are available. My intention is to continue doing 2 a week for the foreseeable future. Thank you so much for spending some time and your attention with me today. Much love, and stay true to your own cosmic heart. Bye for now.